Okay, so we're ready for another episode of Batman the Animated Series. I hope you are, because I sure am. This is going to be one of the best episodes of the show. This is one of my absolute favorites. And I know you hear me say this is one of my favorites a lot of the time, but this time, it absolutely is one of the best episodes of Batman the Animated Series. And this episode is The Man Who Killed Batman. Oh yeah, this is one of those where Batman the Animated Series is a superhero cartoon show, and like most superhero cartoon shows, it can get kind of tropey, and like you do the episode where the hero goes blind, you do the episode where there's an invisible man, there's certain things that you have to do when you do a superhero show. I'm surprised they didn't do an episode where Batman gets shrunken. The superhero gets amnesia. But but one thing that we certainly noticed by this point is when Batman the Animated Series does one of these tropey episodes, they still find a way to do something special with it. And this one, the one where everybody thinks the superhero is dead, is no exception. And in fact, I would say that if I put together a list of top 10 Batman episodes, this one would definitely be on it. So this is also a great Joker episode. It's also a great Harley episode. Harley gets one of my favorite lines that she's ever had in any kind of media, and we'll get to that in a second. Now, again, like a lot of episodes of Batman the Animated Series, also, this is an episode where Batman himself is not the protagonist. And in fact, as I pointed out, it being an episode where we think that Batman is dead, he's not even in most of the episode. No, the protagonist in this episode is a Weasley little wannabe gangster named Sid the Squid. And this is his story and how he becomes the second most feared man in Gotham City. All right, are you ready? Let's go ahead and get started, because I definitely want to get into this episode. Now, again, this is another episode that, like, when I first heard it announced, oh great, it's an episode where Batman's not even going to be in most of the episode. It's like, you would think by this point I would learn to just put some faith into the people behind BTAS and just be like, look, it's tropey as hell, but they're going to do a good job with it. And one thing that gave me some faith in this episode is when I heard that our protagonist for this episode, Mr. Sid the Squid, was going to be voiced by Matt Frewer. Now, some of you might be too young to remember Matt Frewer in his most famous role as Max Headroom, but go ahead and give that a Google when you get a chance. He was huge in the 80s. And I also remember him from Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, and he had a show called Dr. Doctor, and he played Sherlock Holmes in some TV movies in like the early 2000s. So great actor. And a great little title card, this little teeny tiny dweeb, this gigantic eyes, written by Paul Dini, directed by Bruce W. Timm himself. So this is going to be a special episode. Not to be confused with a very special episode, which is a completely different thing. You can see this guy just running desperately through the rain. Batman slain? Newspaper blares at us. So already we have this intrigue with this mysterious character running through the rain. And the way that he hides behind that light pole, you can tell he's scared of something. But what's he scared of? Well, we're going to hear his story in a little bit. And Shirley Walker's music just adds to the intensity of it. And Rupert Thorne. I forgot his last name was Debris. Debris being another word for trash. This is this dweeby little guy. If they did it in live action, you could almost imagine like Rick Moranis playing this character.
I heard you've got a name for yourself. Please. What is it they're calling you?
The man who killed Batman. Title drop.
I didn't. It's been forced. I'm in big trouble. No, just relax, man. Tell me what's on your mind. Well, for a while now, I've been trying to move my way up in the record. A few nights ago, my pal Eddie G told me about a big drug shipment he was picking up for some
propane gas. Propane and propane accessories. But remember that they set that up. That's a gun on the mantle kind of thing. That's going to come into play. He's such a funny character.
Be too busy kicking the crud at Sid to notice us.
So they're using him as bat bait.
Do this job right, might even score yourself a cool Bob thing. What? We'll call you Sid the Squid.
The calamari on the billboard.
Yeah. I get your keys up there and hop in the steam.
Yeah.
Like a hungry sea predator, Sid the Squid stretched his tentacles through the Gotham underworld. Nothing's gonna stop me now.
Nothing at all. Great shot there with Batman's shadow and the way he's all silhouetted there with the grappling hook. Very cool. It's like you barely even noticed Sid was there. You're not quite fat enough for me to throw around, but I'll throw you around anyway.
Looks like a drug run today. Someone's flooding the streets with that trash. I want his name. I don't know. I'm just a lookout. Honest.
And he slips on his own flashlight. No brains, but guts. And they think he's actually trying to fight Batman. And this is one of those episodes that I've just watched a lot. Like I said, it's one of my favorites. Uh-oh, the brick hits the propane, and we can see it starting to leak. Batman's trying to save this guy, but he's even clumsy at being saved. And then Batman falls into the propane! And as he watched this episode, Hank Hill shed a manly tear, and Bobby's like, "It's okay, Dad. Batman's gonna be fine." No, I was crying for the propane. And now they think that Sid killed Batman. You know what this means? Sid the Squid just off the Batman. I'm surprised they get away with using the K word so much in this episode. BS&P often cut Batman a lot of slack, like I pointed out before. But like they couldn't even, like, on the Spider-Man cartoon running around the same time as this, they couldn't even call the Sinister Six the Sinister Six because they thought the word sinister would be too frightening for children. They were the Insidious Six. I don't know how like Insidious is any better or worse than Sinister, but whatever, that's censors for you. And then all the gangsters loved him as they shouted out with glee, Sid the Squid, you're the toughest guy in Gotham City. Like a light bulb. This guy, the guy who took down Batman. Then I'll be the toughest guy in town. Love the bartender. Just for him, it was Tuesday. Knocks over the bowl of popcorn on the guy's head. That guy's probably a bad tipper. Oh, the cowl. Look on his face. Just like everything about this character is just hilarious to me. Like the design of him, the voice, you know, the way they animate him. Oh, this is a good scene here.
That explosion at the customs house. They said it's the work of some mastermind called Squid.
That guy gives him the thumbs up. He got one of his teeth knocked out. Renee takes it pretty hard too. She's always had a soft spot for Batman. And you notice how even Bullock, even he's like, you know, guy who's never really gotten along with Batman, at least not to this point. Even he's like respectful. And I believe this is the first time we've ever heard the name Harleen Quinzel on this show. Which I wonder if originally it was supposed to be an alias and not her actual name. And here it comes.
I know you've been someplace.
I think I served you a subpoena once. It was a small subpoena.
Talk about getting crap past the radar. Of course, we know that last time he would have seen her, she was dressed as a stripper. No, I take that back. He saw her in Laughing Fish, didn't he? Hi again, Aunt June. So now Harleen Quinzel is applying her makeup. Cass? The Joker! Oh, I love the throne. Oh, it's such a Dick Sprang type Joker. Sculpted into that throne. Excuse me. And there's the babies. Bud and Lou. Nice work with the shadows on the Joker there. Men who killed Batman. Oh, he can hardly stand to even say it. Sid caught the little spike on his glove. That's a little nod to the Killing Joke.
We need to pull a doctor just to make sure. Make sure what? Why did old Batman talk to me? And one more thing,
Don't ask stupid questions. I watched a video of V Infusos lately where he was talking about different actors who had played the Joker in Batman the Animated Series besides Mark Hamill. And he was talking about how, like, you know, it got leaked online, some of the stuff that Tim Curry did, where Tim Curry was originally going to play the Joker. And he'd said that the reason he felt that the Joker sounded better when Mark Hamill did him than Tim Curry is that, like, Tim Curry's Joker sounded like he was the punchline, and Mark Hamill's Joker sounds like he makes everybody else the punchline. So let's see. Yeah, I hope I'm able to make it over on Saturday too. That's going to be my plan. So, you know, unless I just wind up falling asleep. So, going back to the Batman TV series. Well, you watch your Batman TV series, and I'm going to watch mine. You can go watch this episode later. That's fine. So, yeah. I might wind up doing a watch along of the '66 Batman show once I'm done with this one. I'm not sure how I'll do that, or if I'll do more of DC animated stuff. Oh, he's so good. Trouble in shoulder. The expression on the Joker's face and the anxious way he paces back and forth. He just looks so sad. He's lost his best friend. Oh. Poor Harley. There's a really great comic book story. It was in Legends of the Dark Knight called Going Sane, in which the Joker thinks that he's actually finally killed Batman. And there's just no more point to him being the Joker anymore. So he just becomes like a normal guy. It's a really sad story because I feel sorry for the guy that the Joker became in that story when he goes back to being the Joker. The Joker's eulogy is beautiful.
And he cried, not asking of what man, but what a death of a dream. The dream that he would someday taste the ultimate victory over his hated enemy. For it was the Batman who made me that happy soul I am today. How I agonized over the perfect way to thank him for that. Perhaps with a cyanide pie in the face. Or an exploding whoopee cushion playfully planted in the Batmobile. But those dreams were dashed by the measly little gunsel sitting there in our midst. The coward, insignificant goner who probably got lots of
Angrier.
slime trail this loser left behind him. This mouth, diseased hyena, who's not fit to lick the dirt from my back.
Oh, the body language and everything. And he just... Like, it's brilliant, man. And Harley.
I'll be smiling again, just as soon as we
That man there, and slap it in that box there, and roll him into that vat of acid there. He's so solemn now. Somebody's a Star Trek 2 fan. I think the Joker really is sad. You know, it's one of those things where he just has this sort of manic mood swing kind of thing. That it's great in this episode. I really like it. Where he'll just switch from one mood to the other like that. It's great.
Well, that was fun. Who's the Chinese?
He's not in the whole episode, just in that one little sequence. But this is still one of the best Joker episodes.
Just as the acid started to eat its way in.
Somebody saved him. Who saved him?
Who saved? The box must have been sucked down a drain pipe and smacked open on the bag. But you had to
He thinks it was just dumb luck. But we know better, don't we?
didn't you? And begged him to step me up with the big man behind the drum rig. He sent me to you. Please, Mr. Thorne, you're rich and powerful. I'll do anything you say if you can get me out of Gotham.
So the famous Sid the Squid is nothing but a pathetic victim of circumstance. Just how stupid you think I am?
Excuse me?
You think I didn't hear the rumors of the third-rate stumblebum who rubbed up the Batman? And now you say you accidentally made a fool of the Joker? No one's that lucky
You're
or
stupid.
Yeah,
I am honest.
Admit it. You're trying to muscle in on my drug racket. You've been playing dumb so you can get a shot at me.
No, really.
Sure, I'll get you out of Gotham, Sydney. In a
Pine box. He's just in a pine box. And I love this bit of music here. You'll know it when you hear it. Here it comes. With the organ, and it's almost like funeral music, but it's just so heroic. And Batman with the shuriken, rendering Thorne's gun useless. He's been waiting a whole episode to throw a fat guy.
And that's for the drugs.
He had to make do with throwing the skinny guy earlier. And he didn't get a chance to throw Sid, really. So he's sure as hell going to throw Rupert Thorne. I love the way he spins, crashes. Thud.
And that one's for any I missed.
Glad to see you. Wait a minute. How come you're alive?
I swung away before the gas tank exploded. But I thought since you believed I was dead, I'd tail you and see who was calling the shots.
So you were the one who saved me from the Joker?
That's right.
Well, glad to be of service. See ya.
Not so fast.
You're still an accomplice in Thorne's gang.
Guess I can't win or lose it. Huh?
I don't know. In the right environment, a man of your dangerous reputation could still get a lot of respect.
So he gets sent to Stonegate Prison.
Here he comes. He's the same.
And he's the man of the hour. Everybody loves him.
Big shot.
So I kind of have this idea that, like, if I was ever to write Batman comics or anything like that, I would do a story that brought Sid back and had him just as being like the big shot, running all the crime in Gotham Penitentiary. I guess he'd be Blackgate Prison in the comics. But yeah, he would actually become like this hardened gangster while he was in prison. And all right, so Kevin Conroy is Batman, Bob Hastings is Commissioner Gordon, Matt Frewer as Sidney, aka Sid the Squid, Mark Hamill is the Joker, Maurice LaMarche as Murphy. Now, Maurice LaMarche is a legendary voice actor, best known for playing the Brain, Pinky in the Brain on Animaniacs, and is probably the most prolific impersonator of Orson Welles. if you've ever seen Orson Welles in anything, it was probably Maurice LaMarche providing the voice. Even when Vincent D'Onofrio, no slouch of an actor, played Orson Welles in Ed Wood, Maurice LaMarche actually dubbed over him. Ingrid Oliu as Renee Montoya, Robert Picardo as Eddie, so another Star Trek alum there. But this was before he was on Star Trek. He played, you might remember, he played the EMH in Star Trek Voyager. Arlene Sorkin as Harley Quinn, and John Vernon as Rupert Thorne. So that was The Man Who Killed Batman, one of the best episodes of Batman the Animated Series. I don't know if I would call it my number one favorite, but it would certainly make my top 10. It would absolutely make my top 10. And yeah, it's definitely one I was all too happy to revisit. I was very much looking forward to going back and revisiting that one. And speaking of episodes that I've been looking forward to going back and revisiting since I started this whole project, next episode is going to be Zatanna, which is guest starring one of my favorite characters from DC Comics, Zatanna. And this is the one where it kind of introduced the idea that Bruce Wayne trained with the father of Zatanna, Zatara the Magician, and that would have been where he would have met her when they were both teenagers. And she's voiced by Julie Brown, who is a friend of Paul Dini, and he was a big fan of the character. I believe still is a big fan of Zatanna, written a lot of comic books about her. And he actually wound up marrying a stage magician. So he married a real life Zatanna. Pretty funny. But I'll talk more about that stuff when we get to that episode. That stuff I'll probably go over again when I watch that. Hopefully that'll be tomorrow. Hopefully. So anyway, if you enjoyed this episode, I know I did. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did. Please like and subscribe and all the fun YouTube stuff down below. We've got a lot more episodes of Batman the Animated Series upcoming after Zatanna. Let's see. I'm so deep in the episode, and season 1 is so long. So we've got a lot to click through here. Christmas with the Joker. Here we go. Man Who Killed Batman, Zatanna. Robin's Reckoning, Part 1 and 2. So that's the origin of Robin. Birds of a Feather, another Penguin episode. Blind as a Bat, another Penguin episode. That's the one where Batman goes blind. Day of the Samurai, that's one of my favorite. Oh, hey, it's that Invisible Man episode I mentioned, See No Evil. We have the 2-part episode of The Demon's Quest, introducing Ra's al Ghul. Well, I mean, we've already seen Ra's al Ghul, but this is his proper introduction. Read My Lips with Scarface and the Ventriloquist. Fire from Olympus with Maxie Zeus. Shadow of the Bat, Part 1 and 2. That will be the proper introduction of Barbara Gordon as Batgirl. Mudslide is the return of Clayface. Paging the Crime Doctor. That's the one with the Crime Doctor, well, obviously, affectionately known by some of the staff as the Geezer episode. And then we're going to take a little bit of a break from the series because we're going to watch Batman Mask of the Phantasm. That's where that fits in chronologically as far as air date order. And then we will pick up Batman the Animated Series again with the Worrymen. So that's what's coming up. If you want to make sure that you catch everything and don't miss an episode, again, make sure you like and subscribe and hit that little bell. We'll talk to you next time. Bye.